And welcome back. Hold on just a second. Forgot to pop out the screen. And welcome back to another episode of Scotch and Songs. Unfortunately, have a memorial episode to do today. Y'all know how I tend to feel about those. So we're going to be talking about Mr. Phil Campbell, who died last week. Just before St. Patrick's Day. As always, waiting on Cole to pop in. But while we are waiting, hey, speak of the devil.
I'm not the devil. I'm 90% confident about that.
Well, Big Brother gets to hear the housekeeping stuff. As per usual, the QR code that is on the screen right now, you can scan that. Donate to us if you feel so inclined. Also, once I do the description, there will be a link to an Amazon page where you can help donate parts to build the supercomputer. That'll allow us to improve the quality of the Scotch and Songs podcast. Again, these are not things that I require. It's simply there if you feel so inclined. Anything to add, Big Brother?
No, I think that's no, I think you got it. I've got no additional information there.
You're supposed to say, oh, and do all the YouTube things like, comment, subscribe.
You're right. I am supposed to say those things. I'm sorry. I was distracted.
I certainly didn't forget to do those things because we're kind of bad about saying that.
Yeah, you're right.
So, there's actually something kind of interesting that YouTube does now. Where if you're watching it, not flipped sideways, because come on, you're probably watching on your phone. I know. But if you look at the subscribe button when I say subscribe, it actually
it
flashes. It highlights, yeah.
I have seen that.
It is rather nifty.
Of course, most of the time when I'm using YouTube, I'm not turned sideways.
Oh, I usually am. I'm also, let's be honest. One, I have YouTube Premium. That way I can lock my phone while I'm at work and listen to YouTube drama while I'm checking people out.
Okay.
They tend to be long videos. That's the reason.
Right.
So the phone's locked. I don't actually get to see it highlight and do the sparklies or whatever it is that it does.
I think I've only noticed this like once or twice, but it's like a rainbow sheen, I believe.
See, I wouldn't know that because my phone's usually locked or it's sitting on my desk and I'm triple tasking. So I'm playing a game and listening to something on YouTube and, let's be honest, probably smoking a cigarette.
Whereas if I've got anything playing on YouTube, I'm sitting right here.
That's fair.
I actually don't use my phone for a whole lot of anything. Texting, the occasional phone call, like to schedule an appointment or something, and that's about it.
Okay. We haven't even gotten to the topic.
Nope.
it. I understand I'm in the majority, but am I the only one that's in the majority? The I am in the minority. Jesus, I haven't even started drinking yet.
I understand. I'm in the majority. I might be the only one.
Am I in the minority? I hate texting.
Uh,
I would
you're in
almost
the minority.
I would
You're
almost
probably
rather
not
you
the
call
only
me.
one, but I've got the opposite thing there. Texts for most people are generally much more convenient.
It it's one thing. Hey, if you're going to the store, pick up milk and bread, shoot a text.
Um, and you'll recall a time where I was in the opposite thing, right? I was in the opposite camp where I would prefer not to get texts, but if it costs me a half a minute or a third of a minute to receive and slash or send texts, chances are we'll be able to accomplish a lot more conversation in that minute if you just call me.
Yes.
Um, however,
Yes.
uh,
Yes, big brother. I also remember airtime.
that's right. So I actually have a plan phone now. I mean, I've still got the same phone number, but I'm no longer a TrackPhone or Net 10 user. Um, that's a fairly recent development. Uh, but so anyway, for a long time now, like once texting got affordable on those services, um, if it's not something that's important, like I'm not looking for any sort of immediate answer, it doesn't need to be a conversation. You know, hey, check out this band, or it's something that like has no urgency and you can get back to me whenever. Then yeah, the text is the more convenient way to go here. If all you have to text me back is the letter K, let's just assume it's understood.
Yeah. Not everything requires a response. Um Having brought this up, it leads to a side tangent from a side tangentception. Um, there are a couple of people at work who do not call in; they
They text
text
in.
in. Um, one of these people is I've got about 10 years on him. He's like 22, 23. I expect it out of him. The other person probably has about 15 years on me. Call. If unless you are profusely praying to the porcelain god or cannot get off the pot, call.
Right. And see, I'm also guilty of the texting my supervisor that I won't be coming in. Um, but at
Before,
5:30 in the
during,
morning,
before, during, or after work hours.
5:30 in the morning.
So is that, I mean, typically before?
I mean, we start at 6 a.
Okay.
So, I don't know if he's driving at that time and uh to be on your phone, to touch your phone at all in either PA or Jersey while driving is illegal.
And it should be.
I'm not
It
going
should
to
be everywhere. Um,
I'm not going to encourage anyone to commit any crimes. Be
don't.
safe, kids. Um, But so yeah, in that case, it's a lot easier and more convenient to text and like, you know, if it needs to be a call, he can call me when he gets the message. Right? That's
So if I am leaving town, I've got my phone set up for hands free. If somebody calls, I don't even have to look at my phone. I typically don't anyway. If somebody calls, it's probably either important or a scammer. Um, the important call,
there's no
I'm
in between. It's
the
one or the other.
yes, the important call, I'm gonna answer it. The scammer, I'm also gonna answer it because it's so much fun. Yes, we're calling about your car's extended warranty. Oh, that is so good. You guys called at the perfect time. Oh, well, what kind of car is it? Odd that you don't.
You tell me.
It, odd
You're the
that you
one
don't
calling.
already know that. But okay, maybe here's verifying information. It's a 2002 Ford Escape, and it is great you guys called. It's been having electrical issues. I took a long road trip, and it's acting kind of weird, and I need to get that extended warranty. That way I can get it in and get it fixed. Click. Oh, how rude.
We're calling about your car's extended warranty? Ah, fantastic. Can you tell me what kind of car that is? Oh yeah, it's my 72 Nova.
Actually, I had somebody pull up to work in a 74 Nova like 2 days ago. And I wasn't big on the color because it was kind of that mustard yellow. I think it would have looked better in like black or blue. That's still a good looking car.
I'm gonna do that next time.
Yeah, the O2 Escape actually happened. It happened while I was down in Texas. What I didn't tell them is I had actually just taken that vehicle to the scrapyard. Like I had been back all of 15 minutes when they called.
Oh wow.
Hilarious. What are we doing, big brother?
Um, uh,
Aside from bullshitting about scam
bullshit.
callers.
That's that's on brand. Unfortunately, tonight we have a memorial episode. Uh, there for this particular band, there is only one member left now.
Is there
Um,
is there really only one?
yep,
Because I know Lemmy passed a few years
yep.
ago.
And now Phil Campbell, and so it's I believe just the drummer left.
Hmm.
But so yes, tonight is Phil Campbell, guitarist of famously Motorhead, um, and also after Lemmy's passing, he formed another, albeit short-lived band, Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons,
Got a
which
couple of theirs
looks
on
like you've
here.
got some on the yeah. Who I know nothing about. So that'll be a little bit of discovery. But I do
I
dig me some Motorhead.
I know
So
one Motorhead song that just comes to mind immediately. Can you guess which one?
uh, yeah, no, I already saw it on there.
The other thing, which is not on here because I didn't see it when I was going through. Do you remember back when we watched wrestling? We're talking like early 2000s.
Right, so barely.
Are you familiar with the wrestler? Holy hell, Triple H.
Okay. Oh, right. Didn't they do his intro song?
That they did, which it actually is kind of a short list. So while we play the first song, what is it?
I actually can't see anything. I'm all pixelated over here. Like, I can see you and I can see me, but the your Pandora list is all pixelated for me right now. Let me
My
look around
my
a little bit.
my roommate is home at the
Oh,
moment and probably on her computer, so that could be part of that.
uh, but does
Don't
that
live out in the
say
middle of nowhere.
does that say Jumpin' Jack Flash?
Yes.
I I'm assuming Motorhead. That's an interesting. Uh, followed by another cover. Uh,
From the
the
same
same
band.
album. Um, and you have three covers lined up here. I really can't read anything past the first two. It's
Yes,
all.
there are three covers. First two are Stones, and the
Yep.
third one. Well, if you can't read it, I'm not going to tell you. You'll know within the first two notes.
Okay.
Actually, because I know you're going to know it in the first two notes.
Now we're gonna start there.
Yep, maybe.
It's oh hey, I'm back. Look at that. I can read again. Um it's real different hearing Lemmy. I'm on the back on the mic. Hush, little baby, don't say a word.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, no, you got it, mister.
Why do you smell like cigars and Jack Daniels?
Speaking of which, no cigar.
But you are drinking Jack Daniels.
It's Motorhead night. It's only appropriate.
I picked up another bottle of Glenfiddich because I don't buy a whole lot of alcohol anymore. The only time I really drink, for the most part, is when we're doing this. So,
Yeah, it's. I'm not going to say a solid plan, but it's not a terrible one.
Mr. Phil Campbell, born May 7th of '61, unfortunately passed March 13th, 10 days ago. Um, from
Yeah.
'84 to 2015, he was in Motorhead. From 2016 up until 10 days ago, he was in Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons with his sons.
Huh. Interesting.
You know what else is going to be interesting? Hearing Lemmy do his
Oh,
best Mick Jagger.
Weblock. Okay.
How do you feel about the Stones?
Um, right. I'm not going to discredit the Stones any. I've never myself personally got into the Stones, but I uh, give them all due respect for their contributions and basically being the foundation of both classic and modern.
They are. I am actually a fan of the Stones.
It is hard to speak ill of a band that has been that influential for that long of a time. They've got like 24 studio albums.
And they've been around since what, the '60s, if not
Like the
'60s
late
or
50s,
'70s, late '50s. Stone's been around for a long time.
like 1959.
Um,
I mean, they literally built active from 1962. Okay, I'm a little bit ahead of time, but like, they literally built rock and roll as we know it.
yeah. I mean, Keith.
So,
To be fair, Keith Richards has been here since before God created the earth. Um, Keith Richards,
and might possibly outlive it.
yes, Keith Richards has always been. He will always be. Um, I mean, he was also Jack Sparrow's dad, um, the guitarist for the Rolling Stones. He may or may not have been who Robert Johnson sold his soul to. That's unconfirmed. I will point out the fact that Keith Richards also uses predominantly open G tuning.
Mm.
Maybe he taught Robert Johnson. We're going to have to do a Keith Richards episode.
It will not be a memorial episode.
That
It will just be a Keith Richards episode.
yes. I would say we'll never have to do a Keith Richards memorial episode, but I would have said the same thing about Mr. Chuck Norris, and I would that would be
Yeah.
incorrect. Did you know that?
Actually, all these years, I thought Death was afraid of Chuck Norris.
Do you know that Chuck Norris once slammed a revolving door? Chuck Norris actually built the hospital he was born in, then slapped the doctor, and drove his mother home.
Uh, Chuck Norris does not have a chin under his beard, only a
There's
nether
only a
fist.
yes. I could do this for days. We better move on to the
Uh,
next song.
Chuck Norris, delivering 87 years of roundhouse kicks and 86 years of life. Um,
I would say the mix on
okay.
that should have been a little better. It was a little hard to hear Lemmy.
I'll agree with you.
The tape pulled a little weird. Evidently, my roommate is watching,
Ah,
and she was referencing the fresh ink, as in it was done
oh,
yesterday.
oh, neat. Okay. Sorry, when I've got the whole thing pulled up, I couldn't see that.
Yeah, no, she she got a tattoo gun, and I said, okay. Tattoos are addictive. If you're going to get them, be prepared.
That's what I've heard. I have no tattoos, no piercings.
Yeah,
So
piercings aren't really my thing. At least not piercings on me. Um, but tattoos,
good
I
turnaround.
um, tattoos, I'm okay with. But then I tell people, "Oh no, I'm actually getting a Bible quote," and they go, "Really, you?" Because that's what the tattoo is. It's Jeremiah 29:13. You shall seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart.
That is a fair, yeah. Nope. That's not a Bible quote. That's truth.
Yes, it just happens to come from the Bible. You know who probably doesn't read the Bible?
uh,
The subject of the next song.
mm, there's an argument to be made that perhaps that one reads all the holy books.
That is fair. Uh, he also does quote scripture to suit his purposes.
So
Just have some sympathy and some taste, you know?
pleased to meet you.
Hope you guess my name. That wah pedal right at the end was well
right?
placed.
Right? Uh, Also, I shouted out who killed the Kennedys when, after all, it was me and you. It was you and me, rather. Um, well, it was our tax money.
Yeah. Yeah, they came out and said, nope, that was us. We did that.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely the CIA. That was.
What? Our government wouldn't do that. You can trust the government. They're here to help. I almost kept a straight face. Yeah, I got nothing on that. What? Of course you can trust the government. Ask an Indian. You are clearly not a student of history. Here, have these blankets.
Ooh.
I could make these jokes all day. So, for the next couple of songs, anyway, we'll actually be getting into Motorhead songs, not Motorhead covering the Stones.
So.
I will say, on those last two, the mix was a little off.
Yeah, they definitely could have upped Lemmy's vocals, and
Even the guitar was,
realistically his bass.
yeah. Or probably drop the bass back a little bit, bring the guitar up, bring Lemmy up.
Yeah,
Which that's not necessarily anything to do with the band. That's more the producer. But
that's producer mixer. Yeah. Um, Now the next one on the list is Peak, right? That's the
uh,
the perfect mix for the band.
yes, it's also when you say Motorhead, more than likely the
First
first song
song.
that people
Yeah.
think. Also, not a very long song. I always thought it
Oh
was
no, no,
longer.
it's nope. Motorhead doesn't have a whole lot of long songs. They are,
Typically right around
concise,
3-4 minutes.
fast,
Yeah.
to the point. Yeah.
Just
I
I clicked it like 4 times.
saw that.
So our our
No.
one of our typical side tangents. Um, the other day I had to run over to the grocery store, grab something to eat, and I grabbed one of the TV dinners, and it was a chicken cordon bleu pasta. You, you look like you have opinions.
I have questions about chicken cordon bleu pasta. Is it pasta that's meant to resemble chicken cordon bleu? Is it a cordon bleu and pasta? Is it
It's basically a deconstructed cordon bleu with pasta. So you've got bits of chicken, bits of ham. Um, I'm going to assume Swiss, and we'll get to that part in a second. And they used, oh god, I don't know what kind of pasta it was. Not off the top of my head.
fettuccine?
No, it was
Uh,
kind of a mix between elbow macaroni and rotini. So it was basically long elbow macaroni.
Spiral?
Kind of, yeah.
Cavatappi?
Yes. I typically know my pastas. Every once in a while there's one and I just can't think of it. But I'm at work, so I throw it in the microwave, start eating, and go, wow, this is actually really bland. I could do this and make it better.
You could probably make more for cheaper too.
Yeah, because it was like $4 or so for the microwavable deal. And I still ended
Okay.
up.
Box of cavatappi is $1. Uh, Depending on how you want to do your ham, either this application to mock it, I would say a ham steak. But if you wanted to go to the deli counter, you could go to the deli counter and get, say, quarter-pound dinner cut ham, right? Which would work out pretty well. You just cross slice it a couple of times, and then you've got your ribso ham. And dinner cut is actually pretty thick, right, for a deli cut. Um, that should only be a couple of bucks, realistically. Quarter pound of ham.
Depends on
Let's
where
let
you're at. We'll say about $4 or $5.
you're getting a half a pound at that point.
Again, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Things are a little bit more expensive, but typically, yeah.
Okay. Let's round our total up to like $5, right? Dollar for the
Yeah.
pasta, more for the ham. Your chicken breast. Um, if you're getting a small thing of chicken breast, that's probably getting like $5 at least, right? So we're up to 10. Your cheese again, either deli counter or you can get the name cheese, but like deli counter is going to be cheaper. So say you spend between 10 and $15 to get your ingredients, right? And then you're probably going to want some sort of cream to base the sauce in, right? So you're basically making an Alfredo with a lot more Swiss. But you're going to come out with 4 portions. So you're looking at $3.50 per.
Something like that. So, what I did today is I went to the store. I got some chicken breast and some ham I got penne. I prefer penne ricotta. Personal preference.
Okay.
Um, I also had to grab some milk and some butter. I already have flour. Because what you have to do is build your Moulinet, which is a cheese sauce. I did not grab deli cheese. I grabbed blocks of cheese. I grabbed 3. So I have Parmesan, Swiss, and provolone. And I'll
Okay.
have I'll have to grate it.
Yep.
It tends to melt better when you do it that way. But the entire trip to the store cost me about $40. I intend on making enough that I'll be eating it all through next week. So I've got at least 5 meals. The hardest part's building up your Moulinet.
But it's also going to be a lot more rewarding and a lot more filling than the frozen meal.
And it'll more than likely not be so damn bland.
Mm-hmm. Couple cracks of pepper go a long way.
Yes. Which is actually kind of funny because we make biscuits and gravy. And by make biscuits and gravy, I mean it's canned gravy. The biscuits are, I mean, it's pre-made dough. You basically pop it on the thing and throw it in the pizza oven. And I had to ask my boss, okay, you're from the South. She's from Texas. Is this
That's not the South. That's Texas.
Houston area? It's close enough.
Mm. Okay.
But I had to ask her, is this biscuits and gravy going to upset me? She goes, I mean, it's okay. It's canned gravy.
Oh.
So, threw it in the microwave, warmed it up, took a bite, and said, salt and pepper. So I put a little bit of salt and pepper in it and said, that's passable.
Oh, sorry.
That's passable. If we had a proper kitchen, no, we have pretty much everything in the store already to do proper biscuits and gravy.
So, flour, butter, milk,
And
salt,
sausage.
pepper, and sausage. Yeah.
Yeah. I might actually no. We do have flour because it's a convenience store. We sell little bags of flour. What we don't have is a stove. It's the only thing we're missing.
So you got to build a rocket stove out back.
Don't tempt me.
Listen, a couple of cinder blocks.
Don't tempt me because I will.
Making biscuits and gravy on the rocket stove.
Hey, we have an Ace Hardware just up the street. I will walk to Ace Hardware and drag a grill back because I could do it on that too.
Okay, well, it's Putting a cast iron on the grill just to make biscuits and gravy.
It's worth it. We'd end up being the best restaurant in town, and we're
You
actually a
might.
gas station. That'd be a funny way to get fired. Why did they fire you at the gas station? I was out back making biscuits and gravy. And they fired you? Well, yeah. Why? I didn't get permission first.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it would go.
Yeah. What about you, Cole? You got any cooking projects you're working on? We always talk about mine.
Uh, oh boy. Um, so I've got like 9 prepackaged um just short of quart uh containers of turkey stock out there. I mean, it's like a 3.75, and I've got 9 of them of just turkey stock sitting in my freezer.
Nice.
Um, I also have bones from 2 of those 3 turkeys, um, waiting to be crushed to bone meal to be used as a garden supplement. Um, I just need a means of crushing said bones. Uh, and the lava ledges that the chinchillas chew on, because once they get down to a certain point, it become the anchor in them becomes a danger because it's metal and not pumice, right? So I've got several chunks of pumice that also need the same treatment, and I just don't have a means of
You,
pulverizing these things.
you ought to get
Um,
yourself a hydraulic press.
I know, right? My wife will be thrilled to have that in the garage.
There actually was that it might still be there. Landlord came and picked up a bunch of stuff from the garage the other day, but that there is one was one in the garage that I just never got around to using. Not to
Um,
mention,
you
I
know,
know who owned it. It was probably a pile of shit.
Also, I can see it now. Hey, babe, I got a hydraulic press. Some sort of freak out about, why in the fuck do you need a hydraulic press? Right? Why don't you just go ahead and get a whole fucking industrial grinder while you're at it?
That's two.
I think you'll see the spark in my eye.
Actually, now that you mention that, I did.
What the hell is wrong with you?
It's a guy thing. That there's some tools every guy wants: an industrial grinder and a hydraulic press. We don't know what we're going to use it for, but we'll have it in case we find
Um,
out.
but what won't we use them for? Uh, I'm sure you're aware of Will It Blend.
Will it hydraulic press?
Will It Shredder.
Yes.
Um, Wildly, they're not called that, but there are YouTube channels devoted to each of these things.
Which means somebody did not name those channels properly.
I think Will It Blend was already trademarked.
I meant with the hydraulic press.
Right, like I think they would have had some sort of copyright infringement if they had, Will It hydraulic press and Will It industrial grinder.
Okay, you
Like,
can't
I
copyright
mean,
an idea.
I mean, will it shred is basically will it blend. Let's be honest.
Will it shred? Isn't that a Jared Dines series?
Ooh, you might be right. Hang on.
Yeah, will it shred? All he does is play gin.
Um,
That being said, I actually do kind of like Jared Dines. He's funny.
there's there's a kitchen project I should start that my wife will absolutely not let me. Gin. Um,
If I had the time and facilities, I would make my own whiskey.
not exactly the same process because whiskey is a distillation, but in the vein of fermentation, I've made kombucha,
Nice.
which is super easy, right? I mean, it's literally make a whole bunch of tea, stick it in a warm place, and let it go bad. Uh, it's more nuanced than that, but the oversimplified thing is the explain something poorly, right? Okay.
Well, I mean, that they make hooch in jail. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah. Stick stick some bread in your grape juice and leave it in a warm place for a while.
Yeah, I mean, basically.
Um,
And make sure you hide it when the COs come through.
yeah, right.
Where did you hide your hooch? Don't ask. Anyway, here's the next song. I am going to point out Lemmy has a thing where he doesn't. I mean, he does sing, but he also tends to speak more than sing.
Yeah, it really is like half and half.
It is. I will point out for "Sympathy of the Devil." Instead of trying to match what Mick Jagger does, he actually lowers it for the high notes. He actually brings it. That's a skill in itself. I've seen a lot of, granted, amateur musicians at open mics try and match the original note for note and can't.
Yeah, knowing how and where to lower those notes, right? That's both recognition of your own range and abilities, but also the counterpoint to be able to do those,
Yes.
right?
And a lot of that is know your limits, know what you're capable of doing. It, as a vocalist, there's some songs I just cannot sing.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to learn. This is one that I cannot sing. You may have to use a lifeline and phone a friend if you want to cover that.
Um, as somebody who has spent a lot of time singing in falsetto, uh, which I will state takes practice, because if you haven't done it in a while, it's gonna be awful once you try to again. Ask
Yes.
me how I know. Um, right, but there is a certain point where my natural range runs out and I cannot pick it back up to another specific point where, you know, technically you shouldn't have range in falsetto, but that's an argument to be had, right? But I've got a gap in vocal range where like my natural range runs out and I can't pick it back up until I hit falsetto.
I prefer not to sing in falsetto. I will lower lines if I have to. Um, Folsom Prison. In in Folsom Prison, Johnny Cash will lift the end of a line. I do the opposite because it's the only
And
way
lower.
it is the only way that I can sing it. There's also like 16 tons. I actually have to raise that one as opposed to lower it
Hmm.
because I don't go that I can't go that low. You know which one I'm talking about.
I'm sure I do, and it's just not clicking right now.
Well, some people say a man's made out of mud. Poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Tennessee Ernie Ford.
Huh. Yeah,
St.
nope.
Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. No?
I feel like we've talked about that one before, and um, just gonna have to go refamiliarize myself.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're missing out. Older song. We're talking
Well, yeah, no,
yes,
I've
40s.
got that, and I'm still digging it, right? Just but
Older song. I want to say 40s. It's kind of more of a big band thing. I had people complain because I didn't play the guitar right in that one, and I looked at them and said, "Kind of hard to play the guitar right when there is no guitar in that song." Because I mean, it's a double bass and I want to say like a clarinet. I think it's a clarinet, but there's no guitar in that song, so I had to come up with my own guitar line for it. And people complained that I didn't play the guitar right.
I mean, you gotta play the clarinet riff and the upright at the same time.
I I do have a looper. It wouldn't be hard to do.
Speaking of loops,
Ooh.
wow, do I have a wild band to show you? However, it's also partially performance art, so like you actually have to watch this happen. I mean, the music's good on its own, but like you have to watch this happen to be properly, mind blown.
You'll have to send that to me then.
I will because on my side tab here where I've got the stream pulled up to watch the comments, um, uh, they are one and two on my suggested list.
Okay.
Right. So, speaking of the comments that I've been watching, that is a lot how one makes mead. You pour ingredients together and you let it sit in a warm place for a while. In the case of mead, honey is your uh, sweetener, um, and yeast is the ferment, and you're making mead out of basically whatever liquid you got sitting around. Um,
I mean, yeah.
Generally, this would be, water, honey, yeast, yeah. But you can do other things. Um, Kombucha, your or honey, and a SCOBY in tea. SCOBY is a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. Um, so there's yeast to do the fermentation, but the bacteria provides both a home and a means of destroying the fermentation byproducts, such as alcohol, um,
Good.
so that you wind up with
Kombucha
a
kombucha can and a lot of the times will have small amounts of alcohol, but we're
yes,
talking minute.
less than 1% generally.
Yeah.
And in most OTC kombuchas, like can walk into the grocery store or convenience store or wherever and buy kombucha. Um, you're, you know, less than a half a percent.
Yeah.
GT's does have a higher alcohol content label, the GT's black label. But even those are like two and a half, maybe. Right. So it's negligible.
Yeah. It, tr- a trace amount of alcohol. Kind of like, Red Bull and Coca-Cola had trace amounts of cocaine, a negligible amount of cocaine.
Wait, is that actually a thing with Red Bull?
It was
Huh. I
because
was unaware.
they were using coca leaves.
Really did give you wings.
Yeah. How
Oh,
do you
because
know
they
that
were
about
using coke.
how do you know that about Red Bull? I actually watched a Fat Electrician video about Red Bull. Do you know the 3 top selling beverage companies?
Red Bull, Coca-Cola, not in that order, I expect and hope. Um, and uh, right, because it seems like it would be a thing because um, Americans will buy anything Evian. No, it's actually probably an alcohol brand. Um, anyway, no, I don't. Lay it on me.
Coca Cola, Pepsi, you should have
Name.
known that one, and Red Bull.
Oh, okay.
Well, Coca Cola owns a lot of different sodas.
Yes. Not
Pep,
all of them good.
uh, yeah.
Did you ever have the joy of touring the Coca-Cola headquarters in Atlanta? Because I did. And at the end of the tour, there's an area where you can sample all of the various products that Coke make. Well, maybe not all, but a wide variety of all the various products that Coke makes, which includes a handful of international samplings.
Hmm.
And like things that they're marketing in Asia are actually pretty tasty sodas. Uh, things that they're marketing in most of Europe. Okay, understandable. And then that brings us to the Italian Bev. Now, at the time, because I was in like seventh grade, I was unaware of the concept of Italian soda. I don't know how many indie hippie vibe oriented coffee shops you spent time in, but most places that are trying to draw any sort of my age crowd would offer, in addition to whatever coffees, Italian soda, which is basically club soda and whatever your flavored syrup is, right? You get to choose what the flavor of the soda. Um, and Cafe Coco in Nashville, when it was still there, offered also an Italian cream soda where they added heavy cream to the same thing. And that's actually pretty darn good. I'm gonna tell you, it's fantastic. Um, and I miss it. But going back to when I was in seventh grade and not college, being introduced to Coca-Cola's mass-produced Bev, it was basically just friggin' tonic water coming out of the fountain. It was the worst, tasted like salt, was all carbonation. There was no hydration, there was no sweet, there was no enjoyment in the thing,
In
right?
other
And as
words,
you,
somebody forgot to change out the syrup.
yeah, picture that, but like somehow with less flavor.
Okay. So
Actually, no, make it taste.
in other words, the liquid form of my cordon bleu pasta that I had the other day.
Ooh, actually, make it taste a little bit more like salt. It was like salt and carbonation. That was it, right? So, hang on, actually, like, my mouth is dry thinking about it.
Anyway.
It has been 27 years. My mouth is still dry thinking about it.
So,
There were rumors going through like whispers going through the line coming into the thing. You gotta try the Bev. Have you tried the Bev? Right? Like we're in the area and people who have been through the line are coming back to us. Have you tried the Bev? and like, other students in our group who were like, "No, we haven't even been through the line yet. You gotta try the bev," right? So obviously, we took the bait, not knowing or
Kids
having access to uh, the syrups that it should have had.
kids are evil.
Uh, in retrospect, this is hilarious. At the time, why would you do this to us?
So, Coca-Cola owns a lot of things, including Italian soda that apparently tastes like a salt lick. um, Pepsi owns a lot of energy drinks.
Yeah, they do actually. It's
Do you know what Red Bull owns?
um, Red Bull.
Red Bull. And and
Wait, don't
their
they have a
own
water
sport
company?
their own sports teams, multiple. Their own race
Oh
car
yeah,
teams,
yeah.
and so much more. But the only beverage is Red Bull.
Huh.
They have made a ton of money selling an energy drink that tastes like straight up bull piss.
It is not good.
No. We're picking on one of the kids at work. And yeah, you know that's like bull piss, right? And he goes, it is yellow. That's not helping you at all.
That's like the worst answer you could give.
This boy has two brain cells and they're both fighting for third place.
He's he's got negative amounts of game, it seems.
Yeah, he does not know how to play the game. Doo-doo. Ding. I actually just got some bad news. Y'all just lost the game.
You know, that's the second time.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think the last time was here.
I do believe you are correct. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it one of our siblings in the comments?
Yes. So hopefully this is revenge.
uh, Mom, because I'm pretty sure it was Crystal. Make sure you tell Crystal that she lost the game. I'm sorry. The setup was there. I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
So we have one more Motorhead song left. Mom says she laughed.
She laughed. Yeah.
We have one more Motorhead song left. Um, and then we get to move on to the Bastard Sons. I can't think of a good segue.
Not everything needs a clever segue or uh protracted build up.
That's
Sometimes we can just be like, you know, hey, here's more.
that's fair. For everybody watching, just think up one for me and assume that I said it. I'm sure it was hilarious.
That's what we do here.
It- Assume it's hilarious. Yes, it usually is to me. Okay.
That's a good way to end the Motorhead section.
It
I
really
like it.
is. I caught a lot of Randall Zorte vibes off that one. He's got kind of the same gruffness in his voice, and a lot of Zorte's songs were along those same lines, and that is not at all a bad thing.
Um, right. I was gonna make a different reference, but then you came back about us losing the game after the last song and completely derailed me. Uh, you know, with the gruffness of voice and the general vibe. Yeah, so does Prince Vegeta. Sorry, the kid and I have been watching Dragon Ball Z Kai, and so just you're playing the game, and I'm like, I know this is Triple H's theme song, but damn, does it fit Vegeta?
Never got into Dragon Ball Z.
Uh, right, DBZ Kai is a lot more palatable and definitely fits a time frame better because there's a whole lot of wasted time in the original run of DBZ.
Well, I'm familiar with the meme. That they'll be fighting, and you'll have 4 episodes where they're charging up one attack. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the the fight with Frieza, the fight between Goku and Frieza. That's really where like, did it need to take 27 episodes?
In other words, it was one season and one fight.
Yeah, actually, the Frieza saga is like 2 seasons, and half of it is just the two of them fighting.
Is it multiple fights or one?
Uh,
Is the answer
no,
yes?
actually, like in reference to the final showdown between Kakarot and Frieza, it is just the two of them fighting for 27 episodes. It is a 9.5 hour fight. Um, and like even when you remove the recaps, it's still significant.
Yeah. I got nothing. I,
DBZ Kai way condenses that.
okay.
It's like 6. Actually, when we went through that, I told the kid to count, and I forget what we counted, but it's much shorter.
You know what TV show?
Um,
You know what TV show could have used more recaps? Lost.
I never got into Lost.
Dad did.
I've been told many times that I should, and just I don't devote like time to really watching the telly. I'd much rather be doing something, even if it's something that's not important. Much rather be actively engaged.
Hence my multitasking. You can't do that with Lost. Lost is so confusing. They had to have a second show just explaining it. And you might be
Um,
thinking, You might be thinking, "Oh, he's exaggerating again." I'm not. There was a second show just to explain Lost. I say second show, it was a web series, but that's close enough.
Uh, right. So like when Kate met me, I if I put on the TV, uh, I was either putting on a football game, a cooking channel, or Ancient Aliens, Food Network. Sorry, football game, Food Network, Ancient Aliens. Right.
With
That's pretty much
with
it.
with one of those, I'd be able to look at you and go, "That's something you picked up from Grandpa."
Food Network, definitely.
I was gonna say the football games, but no, actually, Food Network works too.
Uh, yeah, you know what? You could point to any one of those three things and say I picked it up from Grandpa. And while Ancient Aliens is the real one,
Yeah.
it's be like, no, there's no way you picked that one up from Grandpa. It aired on the History Network.
No, that does
It
track.
aired on History Channel. So, and when everything else went downhill on History Channel, guess what? It still had
Ancient Aliens.
the most believable and like interesting show on History Channel at one point was Ancient Aliens. Once they got rid of all the actual history stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but so like I would put on one of those three things and either play Pokemon, play guitar or bass, uh, or I'd be flipping through my tabletop RPG books, planning things.
The inability to focus on one thing at a damn time is apparently genetic.
No, just like I need to be actively engaged in like I can't like I can't turn off. I have to be doing something, even if it's not something that's important. In fact, most of the time it's usually not. But I have to be, mentally engaged.
Um, if you guys were to come down into the studio at any given time while I'm here, I have 3 screens going. The most I've had going is like 4. But I've got my secondary monitor, which, depending on the game I'm playing, either has Amazon Prime going or Task Manager. With this computer, most of the time it's Task Manager.
Manager.
I've
My
got,
favorite game, Task Manager.
yeah, I've got my primary screen, which will have typically a game going. It changes by the day. And then I've got my phone, which will typically have YouTube going. So I've got like 20 different things going on because I've usually also got my whiskey glass and a cigarette hanging out of my mouth. It's the only way I'm comfortable and calm.
So it's worth noting, if I had Ancient Aliens playing and also my tabletop RPG books out, I was specifically looking for something in Ancient Aliens that I could use to write into a tabletop RPG because horror based RPGs and Ancient Aliens, I've got ways of making this work multiple means how like so that's a direct correlation there. Um, my favorite game, Task Manager. Oh boy, that reminds me of my favorite game, Clam Digger.
Yeah.
You see, your boy Tyrone calls you up, and he's like, "Hey boy, I bet I can dig more clams than you," and you got to be like, "Nuh-uh," right? And so you both race down to the beach, and the object of the game is to find parking.
Holy shit, it sounds like Old Town Fort Collins. I call it the Hell Loop. I call it the Hell Loop because you're driving around in a circle, your car's probably overheating, and nobody's leaving. Oh, wait, there's somebody pulling out. That's not a parking spot, that's a loading zone. Oh, look, that looks like a parking spot. Damn it, handicap spot. Oh, there's one. Oh, that's a crosswalk. Why were you parked in the crosswalk?
uh,
That's an oddly specific example because it happened.
and now I know why you know so many people from New Jersey.
Fair.
So anyway, speaking of bastards,
Yes, it is. Talk about a segue. Um, yes, Phil Campbell's other band, because he also did some solo stuff that I don't have on the list. Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons, which were his sons. There were a couple of other members that were not his sons, but the primary members were his sons.
okay.
And I'm curious. Maybe. There we go. I would say the mix on that is much better.
I agree.
It's it's more it's more guitar more guitar forward, much clearer.
It's a much cleaner mix.
Yes.
Ugh, sorry.
I would say that's probably got something to do with the bassist not being the front man, but I mean Kiss tends to be pretty clean as well.
Yeah, but who's singing in this one? Do we know?
Um I would have to look it up, which I can do. Um Former Attack vocalist, where's his name? Neil Starr.
But he is just a vocalist.
Yes.
Okay. Oh,
In June of 2021, they parted ways with Neil Starr, which actually I think is their that would be their last vocalist. So they never had a permanent vocalist after that, I don't think.
hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Joel Peters was also a vocalist. I'm not September of 2025, Joel Peters left the band. They haven't had a vocalist since. It also doesn't look like they. Okay. They put out two albums after Neil Starr left, but he is more than likely the vocalist for all three of these. Speaking of which, we're going to move on to the next one. Did I say pause?
Are we going to move on to the next one?
I will say it's been a long time since I listened to Attack Attack. I might have to pull up a couple of their songs later.
Um,
I really do like his vocal style, though. At least in
uh,
this.
I would say this. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. It has early odds vibes.
It does. Or even kind of into the 2010s a little bit, where the radio rock was getting a little heavier.
Right.
I will say his guitar tone, now that you can actually hear it properly, is something else. Am I wrong?
I like when we do things in chronological order sometimes because you can tell how a musician has evolved over the course of their career.
Yes. And for the most part, I do try and stick to that and do them in some kind of chronological order. Um, Covers always get shot straight up to the top, and every once in a while it ends up being I like this song in particular, and when I hear this one,
Or that something has such an impact that it needs to go in a particular place.
yes,
But I think I prefer the chronological progression for most scenarios.
it, as do I, because you can hear that progression as somebody hones their craft. Unless we're listening to like the Wallflowers, because I mean they only had one song.
Ooh. I was hoping you would go with the example of something like, where you need to put more recent or, more profound, pronounced, uh, more detailed work next to their early stuff for the, jarring impact of like, this is what you know them from, and this is where they started.
Yes. Well, I mean, if and I'm saying if it more than likely won't happen. We were to do a Metallica album or a Metallica episode, there'd be like Saint Anger. We'd pretend it doesn't exist. Um, that they released the Black album and then Death Magnetic.
Oh, in anger, an album so bad they had to take an hiatus afterward to refresh their entire image.
Yes. Didn't Garage Days come out after Saint Anger? Or was that Load and
Mm,
Reload? I'm not that well versed when it comes to Metallica. I couldn't tell you
no, I
when
think
the albums came out.
Load and Reload were ahead of that because Load and Reload got looked at in an entirely different light after Saint Anger came out.
Which I've always kind of liked. I mean, Fuel and Load and Reload are not bad albums.
Right, because Saint Anger exists.
No, because I pretend Saint Anger doesn't exist. On their own merit, Load and Reload are not bad albums. I'd rather listen to Garage Days over Load and Reload, but that's beside the point. Death Magnetic was a good album, though.
Okay.
You know, the Metallica albums, the good ones come in waves. At least after the Black Album. Took him a second.
Most most artists don't work that way.
No. Well, you have to think. Black Album, Load Reload, Garage Days, Saint Anger, Death Magnetic. that Saint Anger wave should have gone further down.
Right, sorry.
Well, fuck. That's gonna be stuck in my head.
Isn't it?
That might actually be my favorite one from the entire night. That
Uh, I enjoy when we get to hear a particular artist in multiple settings.
yes.
Because
As
there
soon
is
as
quite the
soon
difference.
as soon as he hit that solo though, ooh,
Oh yeah.
a guitar solo should always do that. And more often than not, they don't. I'm a big Guns N' Roses fan. You know it doesn't hit the way that one does? Sweet Child of Mine. It doesn't. November Rain kind of hits like that, though. You know,
Um,
all 7 minutes of it.
yeah, largely myself being a rhythm guitarist, I have to say that probably, you know, pretty much all of my solos don't don't hit like that.
Being a very blues based guitarist, mine are all pentatonic scales, but every once in a while, it just perfect time for a solo, and he's got like perfect use of that wah pedal as well. He doesn't go the Kirk Hammett route where it's just straight wah pedal.
Wada 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 wada.
It's well placed in pretty much all of his solos, in pretty much all the music that we've listened to tonight. It's
Yeah,
it's well put together.
agreed. Uh, right. Well, that's
Unfortunately, that was the last song on the list. I'm definitely gonna have to go listen to some Attack Attack now. That way I can compare the two. Um, are you excited for next week? Number 52.
uh yeah, I don't think I had realized when we started this. Uh so that's an interestingly coincidental lineup
Right.
alignment. Um so what's the plan for next week?
Um, we'll let them figure it out next week.
It'll be
I'll,
a
I'll,
surprise.
it will for them. I'll tell you off stream, but it'll be a surprise for them. I mean, realistically, there's only one thing that we can do. There's only one thing that makes sense.
Or it's the same thing we do every night.
Try and take over the world. If only we could stay on topic.
Ah,
With that, to Mr. Phil Campbell,
thank you, Mr. Phil Campbell. Truly an underrated talent worthy of deeper investigation.
yes. I do so hate doing memorial episodes. We will catch you guys next week with number 52.